Cardinals beat the Rams, Mahomes beat Brady. Before the Broncos played, we heard the fat lady sing. People's Pod.
Okay, we are back with another rendition of the People's Podcast.
Ho, 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 hello, everybody.
It's December. I'm wearing a Santa hat. We have Weaver back on. We're at the U.
Got some eggnog.
Got some nog. Weaver's got some nog. Oh, what? It's actually, sorry, gentlemen.
Yeah, this is important.
Oh my God. Again, I keep opening these things next to my devices and just splashing them every time. That was just my phone this time. Okay.
I like the audio spike right there, too.
At the-
Yeah. Now you can put a mitten on that other hand.
Well, no,
too.
because you gotta scroll. The mitten can't scroll. I know I have to err my ways.
Right.
Yeah, we're really bundled up. We're outside to battle the virus.
Satisfy my paranoia with the virus.
And so because of that, we're each wearing multiple layers, beanies, Santa hats, scarves,
Fuzzy socks.
woolly socks. Yeah,
Oh,
the whole.
He's got stupid ass.
I don't have
flip-flops.
outdoor slips.
You don't have slips?
I have my big poofy indoor slips. Yeah, outdoor slips would be a good Christmas gift for the old Gallster. If any of you want to send a little secret Santa podcaster's gift.
It's only 57 degrees. It's supposed to get down to 44 degrees in the
Whoa.
middle of the night. Yeah.
This morning it was 56 degrees. We're playing disc golf, so.
Fuck that.
More balmy than this morning.
Moist, cold disc golf? No, thank you.
In any case, we have a Week 12 review. It's been a while since we've both been on the podcast. Why don't you catch me up with what you've been up to the past week plus?
For
And the listeners.
for the listeners, yeah. So I got TKO'd by seemingly the flu. And so I stayed in Santa Barbara. I was pretty depressed about it. And then come Thanksgiving Day, Ashley, her family was doing Thanksgiving on Friday. They were having a complete family meltdown on Wednesday. Decided to delay Thanksgiving a day instead of canceling it completely. So that worked out in my favor because then she brought me a Thanksgiving plate and we ate out here in the back of the U. It was just me and her. So that was really cool. I felt good enough that day to just hang out for a minute. She showed up, gave me a plate of food, and then left. And it was a wonderful day. I got to play video games all day. I got high that night and played more video games. Yeah, that was kind of the summary of my week. I just was high on Dayquil, NyQuil, Theraflu, eventually edibles.
Actual weed.
Actual weed, yeah. And that's kind of it, yeah.
So my question to that story related to her family and postponing a day. What does a one-day postponement do to avoid cancellation?
The postponement was not to do about anything with the cancellation. That was really a solid English line there. Basically, it was the sister that was hosting doesn't believe in COVID or vaccinations or anything like that. And so she went to a different Thanksgiving, with all of her friends the weekend before. The siblings found out. They're like, what the fuck? Our elderly parents are coming. Everybody was freaking out. It's going to be on YouTube. Shouldn't be airing family drama out there.
Right, yeah, I was thinking maybe it was a little too far into the
Yeah.
weeds.
But, yeah, it all worked out. Yeah, they had their Thanksgiving outdoors, and I don't know.
Awesome. Well, yeah, glad they could still get the family together. It can be rough, obviously. I mean, we've seen in our own little sphere how friction can happen when philosophies aren't aligned. So I imagine in a family situation that's even more ramped up because, sometimes people little testy in the family environment.
What is family good for if not to be mean to each other? Right? Like, nobody pisses me off more than my brother or my parents. And I'm sure I piss them off just the same.
The long hair.
It's no longer a thing, yeah. My dad loved to say, I'm so proud of my son every time he saw my beautiful locks in a braid or just in general hanging out with all the other long-haired ladies.
Then when you say, Dad, if I didn't have my long hair, I couldn't rile up the crowd after we win at Aviators games when I'm whipping my hair back and forth.
He did enjoy that show.
Yeah, my Thanksgiving was good. Chelsea and I went up north to stay with her parents for the week plus. We got tested negative beforehand, so we did not put them or anyone else in danger of traveling. Thanksgiving itself was just the four of us. Now, I have met them a number of times before, so it was nice, relaxing, and chill. They're super funny and accommodating. And beyond that, I was able to see Stu. We played some disc golf, which is amazing. Some courses that I hadn't played before, but as disc golf always is, it's fun and frustrating. And then I got to see all the Bay Area bros, which was great because we got to watch the classic drama. It was kind of funny because it was me and those four guys, and they all were matched up as rivals. Stu and O'Malley were playing, and Adam and Evan were playing. And then it was just me off to the side because I'd already been eliminated. So.
It's a sad world that we live in.
Although at that time, Adam had also been eliminated. But yeah, how are you feeling now that the writing is on the wall? I guess more like etched in stone. I guess the writing is on the wall. It's more like you're seeing the future potentially, but this is etched in stone.
Fat Lady has sung in my dreams and in my heart. It sucks. I felt like I was so good. I was leading the league in points for, and then I went on a 4-game losing streak, and that's just so depressing.
Can you pinpoint the exact move or moves that sunk you?
Dak Prescott getting injured really threw me for a loop because I really only had Zeke. Mike Davis came along. He was excellent for the first couple weeks, and then he got hurt, and he kind of has been bleh ever since, and dealing with the whole, like, is CMC coming back? Is he not? Is he sharing time? This, that, and the other thing. So it was nice to have Zeke with his just, like, consistent 18 points or more as just the anchor of my team. And then that turned into 2.4 points, and that's just tough, right? Like, how do you bench
It's not going to cut it. Yeah.
And then I think everybody's pretty well aware of my running back woes. James White saga, the Philip Lindsay versus Melvin Gordon saga. The Dobbins thing, I've been waiting for him forever. He finally booms when I have him on my bench.
And then he gets COVID, so you can't even capitalize on that boom.
He gets COVID, yeah. So it's been just kind of a bummer. And then the whole Matt Ryan thing fucking kill me. And then Kittle. Oh, my Kittle.
Yeah.
Why? So yeah, I'm still coming to terms with it, but I guess at this point I really can just not care about fantasy.
I think you're literally locked into 7th or 8th place. No, you're locked into not last. That's what you're locked into.
Not last. So I
You
literally
would have finished
could care
between
less.
7 and 10.
This is my average position in this league. I just barely miss the playoffs every year, and I'll probably lose out from here on out. So it'll be great. I'll finish 10th.
10th.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Can't wait. I'll still try, but gosh darn it.
Changing gears, what do you think of the Zoom podcast? Did you have a chance to view it?
Yeah, I did. It was cool. I mean, there's the standard Zoom challenges that y'all had to deal with. But I think we're all pretty accustomed to that now. I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, I had fun. Definitely what you're saying, the frustrations of talking over each other, things cutting out, and then just the internet taking a dump at the end. But I also lamented the fact that the recording didn't do Kurt's jingle justice. It's not the same as having the audio file play through the upload as it is trying to have the computer speakers on the Zoom meeting pick it up.
Well, so when you recorded it, we could get into the back end of how this goes, right?
So Zoom, like, you download the Zoom thing, and it's a straight MP4 file after that. And so it's like that download, and then you upload that into YouTube. So there isn't the extra step of putting it through the...
Yeah, I wonder if you could still do that. Put it in our software, add both that video and the audio recording. But
I have no idea.
that's something...
It also seemed like it would take forever. Like, I didn't even try. Like, I
Yeah.
thought about it, and I was like, it's already an MP4 file. I'm just going to...
For sure. Full
But anyway, cool. Yeah, I think there could be another one of those in the future. Maybe next week we get
we could also just post
mega
that
preview.
Version on YouTube. Just convert it right now and just load it as like a sample. You know, it's just a little mini. YouTube clip.
Well, so eventually we're gonna have all the jingles in one video.
Compilation.
Yeah.
We definitely have to rate them.
Yes. Yeah.
The best jingles. They serve different purposes.
And each one has a different feel.
Yeah.
There's the Trump versus Biden one. There's a spooky Halloween one.
Yeah, I'm gonna request the graveyard one for next week when all of us that are like eliminated when it really becomes official.
Did you make picks last week?
Nah, I missed it.
Okay, well then we'll go through the picks that did happen. So week 11, I went 2-4. Stu went 5-1, which he dubbed, and I quote, straight fire bro in his picks. His picks percentage is ridiculous. If you look on the platform and what he claims to do, he's like 32-16 or something, which is nuts. But after week 12, so this past weekend, I went 5-1, which puts me at 37-35 overall. Stu went 3-3, so average fire bro. And the MPM went 3-3 as well. But going to the matchups, one that I picked correct in my own matchup was Bill taking it in very, very close fashion. So quick hits for all these matchups. What did you see in this one?
Tyler Boyd is dead now that Joe Burrow's gone. Sad to see. Miles Sanders, sad. Gus Edwards, sad. Just a lot of sadness from you. The old Monday Night Miracle by Bill. Fucking guy. Jonnu Smith. That guy's apparently dead.
Yeah, Bill escaped the 0-point player and still got the victory. Things that pop out to me. Sucks to lose when you have your special teams both put up double digits. We've talked about that previously. So that means the rest of my team really sucked it. Yeah, Boyd is basically a non-factor now that Burrow is dead. But Josh Allen being held under 16 points, having 2 turnovers against the Clippers. So the Clippers are good for nothing except for keeping my quarterback down in the week that I lose by 1 point. So Blood Diamond Bill gets that one. Silver of the silveriest, skinniest lining for me is it seems like Ridley and Parker are back, as long as Fitzmagic is the quarterback in Miami anyway. And then on Bill's side, Kenyon Drake and getting Eckler back, both of them have big weeks. So, I mean, this is kind of the story of Bill's fantasy fame is he has ho-hum weeks, but some players just get him over the hump that his opponent can't.
He wins the close ones. This is a nitty-gritty win. His team knows how to pull out the W.
It was big for him. He's locked into a playoff spot now.
Fucker.
He's locked in. But, okay.
And his team's at full strength again, which is cool.
Beyond a 0-point tight end. Bill actually doesn't have a tight end now, so let's just say he'll be making a move for one very soon.
We all know how the tight end atmosphere is.
Okay. Oh, and Johnny Smith's actually dead. Bill does need a tight end. Look at that. All right. Bill wins that one. Next, we have Pebs and Weave. Oh, God, we're just going back-to-back heartbreakers. I picked Pebs. Stu picked Pebs. How'd you feel going in this matchup as it was a do or die for you?
I thought it was winnable. I was feeling good. I tinkered in Cam Newton. He had a great matchup against Arizona. Turns out he sucks.
Yeah, he's like the Clippers. If you start to believe in them, they get you.
Yeah, it's just
Pebbles also getting a win with a 0-point player. Cleveland defense getting none.
Pebbles hit Pay Go Dirt. Finally.
Pay Goder, Deebo Samuel, and then my long lost love, Koo. Quite possibly my biggest regret of the whole entire season.
That obviously should be. Yeah.
I made a lot of stupid ones. But yeah, what's up jumped out to me. Also, James Robinson. We were talking about him all year. Just crushing it. Yeah, I remember when Saquon went down and we're like, Pebbles, it's not over. It's going to be okay. You got Robinson, you got X, Y, and Z, you got Murray. Well, now Pebbles is 8-4, and he's yucking it up in the group me about getting that first round bye.
I know.
Potentially.
Bastard.
How the turntables have turntabled.
Yeah. He made some pretty clutch pickups. J-Rob, Koo, Godert. I don't think he started with Godert.
Harris, too, I think.
Antonio Brown. Yeah, Damian
Brown's
Harris.
pretty baloney.
That's fair. But, well, no, he's not. Let's see. 13 targets the week before, 8 targets the week before. I think that last week was just a weird one of Tom Brady playing like shit.
Yeah, I will see. There's a time where I believed Brown was a wonderful pickup, but now it seems like there are too many mouths to feed in that offense between those 3 receivers and Gronk. Not to mention Cameron Brate is around and the 2 running backs. There's a lot of mouths.
Yeah, you can say that about every team, though. But really unfortunate for me, my 2 running backs combining for 11 points. Fucking kill me. Prater, again, unforgettable experience.
Yeah, I think you need a new kicker.
I think so, too.
The Lions are not good.
Turns out. But not good teams doesn't make a lick of sense for kickers. I don't know. Anyways.
Next matchup.
Depressing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sad for the Pittsburgh defense to go to waste on my team. They've been
Right.
Double-digit points. What is that? 6 out of the last 7 weeks? Something crazy. It's really nice.
Wow, that is nuts that you're just kind of like done.
You're telling me.
Next matchup, Max and Bacon. Everybody picks Max, and we didn't believe in the Max curse, but this is the week that Bacon gets 53 points out of Tyreek, 24 out of Landry, which I call, by the way, and 37.5 points out of Derrick Henry, not to mention 15 points from the Rams defense. His quarterback put up 3 points, and he had a receiver put up less than 1 point. And he still puts up 161 points.
Yeah.
Max had a great week. Max could have beat his projection. He might have beat a bunch of other teams this week.
Oh, yeah.
Gibson going off on Thursday. Oh, man, this was like that the Thursday curse. Well, Stu won his matchup, but yeah. I mean,
What can you say except for sorry, Max?
yeah, it's a huge bummer. Max is now 2-10.
We have to do the math and see how many of those 10 were the
high
most
spots.
High spots.
Oh, that'd be a fun thing for next week. Here, I'll put a little note of that.
Make a note.
Nice.
Yeah. Typically, when a quarterback scores 3 points, you lose. Tyreek Hill gives you the ability to not lose when that happens.
Well, the funny thing is like when Derrick Henry put up 41 points and I played Bacon, I beat Bacon. So sometimes a big blow up you can survive, but not
2?
3 big blow
Three?
ups. Yeah, plus 15 points out of a defense.
Yeah, half his roster put up single point performances. Half of them put up an absurd number of points. Fucking brutal.
Bacon finds himself locked on the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Going for that first round bye as well.
This garbage ass team. Better than most. Remember when we were
Bacon's-
talking mad shit
Yes.
on his team? That's what fantasy does.
I wonder what his low score of the year was. because I feel like he's kind of a hot and cold team, like more so than most. Where's that guy? You can McKissick this day. Low score, 88 points. Or 90 points. Yeah, Bacon's team is pretty hot and cold. So, yeah, like where?
Only 2 times.
109 when he played me. So, I guess what I'm saying is he's not getting 130 points every week. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
He's in a better spot than you and I. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Next matchup. No one fucks like Gaston versus the weekday teetotaler. Well, this is a sad one for O'Malley as Derek Carr gets less than 1 point, 3 fumbles lost, and interception.
If he had played Tannehill, would he have won? Oh, so his bench.
Tannehill had
God, he would've.
about 19 more points, which would have put him over. Yes.
Brutal.
Yes. But that's like so rough. That's against the Indy defense, which is phenomenal. And then you have Derek Carr, who's been playing well, going against the Falcons, who give up so many points. I guess Carr's been super hot and cold, too. Not even that hot, just like lukewarm and cold.
He's had some hot games. I mean, last week against KC, he put up 21. And they're no slouch. He just has a thing against KC. Both games over 20 points.
Yeah. Well, didn't put up 20 in this last one. Jefferson, though, crushing it. Here's someone who's been a great pick for O'Malley almost all year. I remember trying to acquire him earlier on. I think around the week 5. And
you offer him Cam?
I don't remember. Maybe is what I
Probably.
offered. There was a conversation, but O'Malley didn't let go of him, and now he's been, the best rookie receiver?
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook was limping in that game. I remember seeing the life run from O'Malley's eyes when Cook was hobbling to the sideline. But seemed to avoid major injury, and we'll be in there next week. But yeah, rough one from O'Malley, who get double digits out of his defense. Stu had some Thursday points from Deshaun.
It'll be interesting to see if Deshaun is any good without Will Fuller now.
Yeah.
And David Johnson coming back. I think they'll lean more heavily on DJ.
Which Stu also owns. So Stu's been in a little running back trouble these past few weeks between Carson and McCaffrey and Johnson all being banged up. And so if he can have any number of those 3 guys active, he's going to be in a good spot.
Yeah. Oh, the Wilkins start. That's fun. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so Stu and I actually were on the disc golf course on Saturday. Comes up in the group me that JTT had COVID. I'm on my phone as Stu's on the tee pad. I see this, and, thought goes through my brain. Should I pick up Wilkins? Should I triple dip?
Oh, God.
But I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to back to do that again. Stu and I have a conversation. Stu picks him up, starts him, and pretty sure that Wilkins actually outscored both my running backs.
Oh, no.
Let's see. He scored 7.2. So, yes, Wilkins actually outscored both my running backs last week after I refused to go back to the well.
Tough.
Whatever. In any case, Stu gets the win. He's getting a bye. He's 10-2. The MPM has been spot on with him the past 4 weeks. And we're moving on. O'Malley actually also we can talk about. He's kind of in a life or death situation here. He's got 30 points up on Ev. So O'Malley's a team that we've been monitoring. Actually, O'Malley's kind of lucky to be in this situation because he got a Monday Night Miracle against me a few weeks ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
Funny that we've been talking him up as a potential championship team, and now him and Evan will be the 2 that are the most uneasy this next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at me like that for?
I'm just listening.
Oh, yeah. Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay.
You're good. I just wasn't sure where you're going with this. Yeah, it's cool to have something to cheer for, man. They're both going to be stressed out. We're going to get into who we picked for each.
I was just going to say, yeah, that, and then we can get some side action
the
going on.
matchup
for
of the
who
week,
makes
for
the
sure.
6.
Yeah.
They're not playing each other.
Oh man, that'd be cool though.
That would be the best. All right, next matchup. We'll get into more of that later.
Wait, yeah, they are
No,
next week.
this week? Are they really playing each other? They are playing each other.
Fucking loser.
Oh my god. So we'll get to this question later, but something to keep note of this weekend when you're looking for some excitement is this matchup.
Yeah.
I can't believe you thought they weren't playing each other.
Oh my god.
We'll get to that matchup later. Ooh, and our picks, that's fun. Last week's matchup, speaking of Evan, he beat the Go Brown with the Ship, Adam. Still has Brown in his name a week after he dropped him. Usually we chastise people for this kind of move. And we have lauded Adam in the past for his amazing team names.
Mhm.
So now
You better have some pity, huh? It's the holiday season. He's down in the dumps. He's one of the Sacco favorites. You let that man rest.
I just think it's curious that someone with the beautiful ability, that beautiful mind he has for team names,
A beautiful mind.
has yet to find something. Like, for instance, he could have gone back to I Can Take Moria. That was a good one. We all got laughs. Oh, here's computer's talk. He could name his team Jobber Carlson. We'd all get a good laugh on that. That's his kicker, who's also Jobber Carlson.
Yeah, you should probably not recommend any names ever. Especially with your naming prowess. For as good as Adam is, you are the equal opposite for bad team names.
Well, I can claim confidently that I've never had someone's name in my name that was not on my roster. But with this matchup, Evan puts up 154 in a beautiful week. Mahomes, oh my god, and he also had a player that gave him 0 points. This is quite the week where a lot of people are getting 0 points out of people. So Evan puts up 154 with 9 players. Mahomes goes off. Amari Cooper has a great game with the Red Rocket throwing to him. Hashtag is Red Rocket Elite. And the Chubster is back.
Chub.
Evan's team is rounding into form, even though he did trade Rojo. He still has Chubb and Aaron Jones. Although, if you are Evan, you have to be a little bit concerned with that 0 out of one of your receivers. Also, Evan's team has to deal with Duke Johnson losing the starting role and Gio Bernard becoming as irrelevant as the rest of that Bengals offense without Joe Burrow.
But he did get 10 points from his tight end, so he was looking for not trash, and he found it.
Yeah, in the past 2 weeks since he made that trade, Hunter Henry has produced for him. So far, so good.
Not nearly as many points as Rojo, but he filled the need. We'll see if it pays off for him.
On Go Brown with the Ships side, Allen Robinson has a phenomenal game. 2 touchdowns in that one against the Packers I think that was Monday night.
For the first time in forever. Rob doing something worthwhile.
Gallman has been a great pickup. He's had double digits in 5 straight games as the starter for the Giants.
Is Gallman a player that you wanted anything to do with?
Not at all. I didn't have faith in any of them.
Same.
But this is someone who has consistently put up double digits and most certainly has scored every single running back on my roster in that span.
Yeah, same. It's so infuriating. This is one of those classic, like, I got roasted for picking up 2 Jets, but there can be fantasy value in dumpster fire of teams.
Yes.
Gallman is a clear example and an infuriating one because I didn't want to get anywhere close to him. I wanted safe distancing. I wanted social distancing. I wanted point distancing, and that's what I got by not even considering that. So, yeah.
The ones that are grabbed for free are frustrating.
Yeah, I agree.
But you win some, you lose some. And Go Brown with the Ship lost this one. Wonder if Adam is concerned at Roethlisberger's play over the past few weeks. Doesn't have a great matchup in the next 2, and this is when it does start to get down to the nitty gritty for us old
Sacco
bottom
contenders.
fours. Yeah. Daniel Jones, the other quarterback currently on Adam's roster, is injured, and then is Daniel Jones after that. So
Tough.
let's just say Adam will be making a quarterback move very soon.
Daniel Jones is one of those elite mobile quarterbacks. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen him tackle himself. I also know that he got injured, took himself out of the game on Sunday, now won't play this Sunday. Last matchup, we have Pandulce versus On My Way to the Shitter. Brad wins this one. And both myself and Stu picked Brad in this one. I remember I thought about this one a little longer than I thought I should have, and then eventually went with Brad because his team is just in better shape. Scott getting 0 out of Julio Jones is a huge bummer. I know Julio was banged up going into this one. And then, was he actually even active?
He was not active.
Inactive.
No, yeah. He was out.
Wait, so we have another Scott playing an inactive guy.
Yeah. But, I have a little more leeway for him. He had mentioned a lot of his finals and everything and the whole hospital stuff. He's got a longer leash from me as of right now. But, Scott, if you ever draft Julio Jones again, I'm going to fucking strangle you.
Well, let's see. The silver lining with that is that if he had started a receiver that was active,
Still wouldn't have mattered.
he still would have lost.
If he had played the perfect lineup, though, it would have been fine. A combination of Kirk Cousins and Nelson Aguilar. But that's always stupid to think about.
Yeah, perfect lineups are kind of baloney because it's like multiple different decisions that you have to make. But starting 9 guys, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. So Brad's got a good week again. 4. This is his swan song here. Brad's team is in a sorry state this next week because he has almost no receivers that are active. Little trouble in paradise because Kamara has not been the same without Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Brad also had a guy with 0 points.
Tim Patrick.
He actually was active, though. He had 2 targets.
I mean, he had 0 quarterbacks throwing to him.
That's also true. Brad, did you have any other options on here?
Brad
Robinson.
admitted to not paying attention this week, though. Like starting McKinnon over Mostert, despite the fact that Mostert was active. Tim Patrick when the entire quarterback team was COVID listed.
So this is just a disappointing matchup all the way around.
This was the matchup of the don't cares.
Well, then I don't care to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, bless him.
So that's all the matchups from last week. Next segment that's fun is we have some listener questions.
Yes. This is my favorite segment.
So, listener question number 1.
Let's get the fans involved.
This is from our number 1 fan from Bend, Oregon, Mr. Blood Diamond Bill.
Blood Diamond Bill himself.
Blood Diamond Bill asks, okay, here's the question. As a high-ranking member of the COP, that's me, is there any past change in the league that you like? And what future changes do you like, if any? Question mark. First things that come to my mind, one change that I resisted, in addition to all the other changes I resisted, maybe every change I've always resisted, was the half-point PPR. I didn't want to do it, but I like it. It adds another element to the game. Now, all of a sudden, targets and catches come into play. Before, it was just yards and touchdowns. So that's a change that we have made, and I like. Also, the 4-point kick instead of the 5-point kick, like capping it at 4, seems pretty fair to me. But yeah, toss this to you. We're talking about the 6th seed in the group me and that change.
Oh, man. The wild card, 6th seed.
Yeah, what are your feelings about that?
I honestly love it. One of the things that's been a big trend in our group me is talking about how, if I played your schedule, I'd be 8-2. Pebbles shared that with me today, and it super triggered me because I'm on the outside looking in. And I'm one of those teams that has a high points for. I think that the NFL has a wild card. Every single sport has a wild card spot, right? So I think that that would be fun to include.
Yeah, but in all those sports, that team gets that spot because of the number of their wins,
Very true.
not because they scored the most runs or the most points or whatever.
Good
A
count,
real
man.
life example in 2010, the Chargers had the number one offense and the number one defense and missed the playoffs. And another counterpoint to this, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm against this change, is we randomized the rivals because we were bitching about people's schedules and how different people had cakewalk rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Two of those guys that people wanted to have their rivals, O'Malley and Bacon, are now playoff teams. So I think if we continue to randomize the rivals, there's already enough randomization in it.
Well, yeah, fantasy is random in its own right. But just looking at the standings now, nothing would change. O'Malley has the most points for, so he would still have the playoff spot if we stopped the count right now.
Was the stipulation the absolute most points for if you don't make the playoffs, or is it
Of the
the
remaining
most
teams.
points for of the remaining teams?
Top
Okay.
5
We'll
records.
get it, and then the 6. Yeah, I still don't like it. Good
Yeah.
question, though. Any other changes that you like or dislike that we have made, or you wish that would be made?
I guess I do like the kicker change because I hate kickers completely.
Just need a better strategy, bro.
There's no strategy behind kickers. You can't even tell me that there is.
I mean,
Don't drop coup.
okay, that's a good strategy. What I was going to say is I think I've had double-digit points out of my kicker like 11 out of 12 weeks.
And what about last year?
Mm,
What changed?
my strategy,
What changed?
get coup.
Get coup.
All right, that's
Everybody's
a valid
life goal.
argument.
And I think that the half-point PPR really, I think it kind of brought more parity to players. It made more players valuable versus the elite guys being the elite and then a bunch of hot garbage. Yeah, which is nice. I think that we do see a lot of high-scoring weeks because of that. It's always fun to see big numbers.
I mean, our league also has had a bunch of low-scoring weeks.
Certainly, it makes it that much worse when you have a low-scoring week.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Okay, yeah, good question, Bill. Next question. This one was submitted by Check Out My Elevator. He says, what are some interesting storylines we should be watching for in order to not completely check out?
Easy. The O'Malley versus Evan
That's
matchup this week. Evan's got to win and do it by 29 points, which is not unheard of.
No, for sure it can happen. It happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Yeah. So that's the number one storyline going into this week.
What other storylines can we do? If Scott starts 10 guys, it's a good storyline. Let's see. Something that I'm interested in, and this kind of goes beyond this next week, is for those people who have remaining budget, if it ends up mattering, right? Because we've been talking about how, you can't take it with you and you should spend it. And obviously you're someone who has $0 right now because you've made some big expenditures. I'm curious to see if something happens in the next month where there's a bidding frenzy on a player that's available. And if that player ends up being impactful in either who wins or who doesn't get the sacco, right?
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. I feel like at this point, everybody's got their teams. Handcuffs are mostly tied up. I don't think there's going to be a giant. I mean, everybody's hoarding.
Well, like, for instance,
Defenses
if
as well.
Derrick Henry were to get injured,
Right.
his backups are both available.
That's An interesting point, but also impossible to predict. Yeah.
For sure, right? But that's what the budget is for. That's the conundrum. Do you spend it or do you save it? So we'll see. We'll see. There's no right or wrong answer for that. Good
It's
question.
interesting. Looking at all the bids since I spent all my money, and I'm not seeing a single person that I'm like bummed that I missed out on, except for Koo
What about James White?
for $27. No.
Did you say Zeke's scoring 2.5 points for you now?
Yeah.
And Mike Davis is dead? Like, wouldn't you like to have James White on your squad?
Not for $27. I wouldn't have bid $27
What if
for James
it
White.
was in a position to get you into the playoffs?
I mean, just quoting you back at me, Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead before the ACL injury, right?
Okay, things have
And
changed.
Damian Harris.
Yeah.
So you still have Sony Michel and Damian Harris. Fuck off. What are you doing?
Rex Burkhead, who's the pass
Get
catching
outta
back,
here.
is out.
You're talking junk.
Look, you got to be flexible and fluid. But all right, we'll agree to disagree on that one. Thanks for the question. Next question from homeowner in the city. That's Ev. I couldn't think of a more
I
funny
lied.
name for him.
Fulgham got picked up.
Fulgham is garbage now.
Now he's garbage, yeah. But, sorry.
That's okay.
Found him.
First question is, what's the betting line for me making the playoffs? So me as an Evan. So Evan versus O'Malley. We just said that Evan needs to win by 29 or more points.
Let's take a look at the matchup real quick.
Let's take a look at the. Okay. Well, why don't we just break order here and just go straight to that matchup?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am taking. Oh, you did a bunch of highlighter stuff on my picks. Okay, I'm confused now.
Your picks are all on the left.
I'm taking O'Malley. That's right. And you
I-
have the other.
Yeah, I'm taking Evan. I'm riding this train.
You're taking Evan to make the playoffs or just win this
I'm
matchup?
taking Evan to win the matchup. And looking at the odds, I want to see what is.
Right now, O'Malley has Bush by 6 points.
Evan's got a lot of red matchups for his players. That's
So in looking
unfortunate.
at this matchup, I chose O'Malley because I think Evan's team has more question marks. Okay, Amari Cooper is playing the Ravens. It's a good defense. Cowboys have bad offense.
And Cooper is just always a question mark for sure.
Sammy Watkins, while has the potential to be boomy, has been more busty and injured this year. Ayuk is good, but Buffalo also is good, so that's going to be a tough one there. I think the Niners are going to have a tough time in that game. And then picking up Perriman on the Jets, like he's had a string of good games. I mean, only 9.9 points last week, but I think that's also an offense by the Jets that has a lot of question marks. So I think Evans' team is full of more question marks where O'Malley's got Tannehill against Cleveland, great. Hopkins, always good. Jefferson against Jacksonville, great. Dalvin Cook, if he's healthy, also great. He's getting Montgomery back, who, although is super boring, is playing a Lions team who's not that great and needs a lot of volume. And let's see what. Oh, Gaskin also is eligible to return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the story of the Little Giants right now for sure. There's a lot of red for Evans' team. Gaskin coming back. Oh, I didn't even know that.
O'Malley has to get Fulgham out of his lineup.
Don't give roster advice.
I'm just saying that if I was a betting man, Gaskin would be in that flex come Sunday morning.
I agree with you on that. This is an uphill battle. I put the odds at plus 600
For him to make the playoffs.
for Evan to make playoffs. And that might be lowballing it. It's probably closer to plus 900.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll put it at plus 600.
So what do you like? I mean, you chose him to win the matchup in any case.
This is one of those things where I knew that you were going to choose O'Malley, so I'm just going opposite. I
You
didn't
knew
know
because you saw it, or you knew because why?
I knew because O'Malley is the logical pick. I'm choosing the David versus Goliath.
Okay.
I'm rolling with David. Yeah. I want something to believe in. And don't get me wrong, Amel, it's nothing against you, but me and Evan were both on the comeback train, the dark horses to make the playoffs. So I'm kind of hoping that he can pull it off. I failed him by not winning last week. So yeah.
I feel that. I had a similar camaraderie with Adam like 2 weeks ago. We were like way behind the 8 ball, and we were talking about I think I was trying to trade him Cam Newton or something, and eventually it was just like, good luck, man. I hope it's one of us that gets in there.
Yeah, it's not good. Good luck, Dog. You're gonna need it.
It will be definitely fun to watch. Let's see, when's it gonna be decided? So Monday night, Evan has 2 players and a guy on Tuesday night, where O'Malley is straight Sunday.
Ooh.
So this is going to be... Oh, that's actually kind of fun, where after Sunday we'll know what the gap is,
where
plus
the bar
29,
is.
whatever. Well, again, if Ayuk catches like a 75-yard bomb in that game.
Man.
That's pretty exciting.
That is super
Next
exciting.
question from same listener. Actually from Alice, who maybe she's another one of the subscribers on our YouTube channel, because there's 15 of them, is asking us to rank who's going to have the most babies in the league. And so instead of ranking from 1 to 12, I want you to give me your top 3. Who's going to have the most babies? Top 3 in the league, with one person already having a baby in the league.
Yeah, Max for sure has a head start, so we'll just go with him. Because I think
This is over a lifetime, though.
Yeah, I think Kelly is going to be competitive with her sister, and I think her sister is going to want more babies.
That's true. Her sister Lauren has 3, I think, right now.
3?
3 children.
Yeah, I
She
think
just popped one out
another
recently.
one. Damn, some athletes. Yeah, so Kelly for sure is going to be competitive with that. So have fun with that, Max. Then I'm curious.
Do you want to see a list of the people in our league?
No.
No, okay.
I'm a little bit curious about Scott's girlfriend, if she's religious in any kind of way, because that always is like a booster, to the ranking. So with that wild card, assuming that she is somehow religious and dating Scott, very, oxymoronical almost, I'm going to go with Scott.
Okay.
And then, oh, mama. Oh, man. I'm going to go with Pebbles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
He's already got a house and dogs and cats. He's got the family.
He doesn't want a space he's got to fill.
He's
got
got
to fill that space.
Yeah. He's going to get tired of doing chores.
All right, so your picks are Max, Scott, and Pebbles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, well, I'm taking Max as well. I think that's a good, safe pick.
Yeah. Easy for
But after that, I'm taking Adam.
Uh-huh.
Adam and Noel. Adam comes from big family.
Oh, yeah.
And he absolutely adores all of his nieces, nephews.
Mm-hmm. The Blonde Army.
Yes, the Blonde Army. And then I'm taking you as my third.
Whoa. Wild.
That's right.
How fun.
Yeah, I don't really have much for reason. I mean, you are one of 3 siblings yourself,
That's good.
which I think is above average, and I think the rest of our league is going to have like 2 or fewer children.
Yeah. Oh, are we sleeping on Amber? Is she a baby crazy type?
I don't know how baby crazy she is, but I know they're practicing a lot.
Weird.
So
All right.
maybe
Danger zone, abort.
Like diaper folding and all
Oh,
that.
yes. Gardening. That's a good dad skill set.
That was actually a very fun question. Thank you, homeowner in the city. Okay. Actually, I wanted to ask you this question that was asked last time, but you weren't on, is of the 4 Sacco contenders, myself, Adam, Max, Scott, if each person were to win the Sacco, what would they be taking a shot of out of the toilet bowl?
Yes. Adam would be a fine whiskey. Collin
But
would...
every Sunday mornings. This is like before
Yeah.
football.
A fine whiskey.
Oh my god.
Collin would be anything available. Not picky there. Scott would not do it. And Max, I think, also would not do it.
You don't think he would have some Bud Heavy? Or maybe some mimosa? He loves his mimis.
He does love mimis, but Sunday morning shot, I don't see him following through with that. He might be like Bacon, doing it like after an immense amount of social pressure, but like sparingly. Yeah. But if he did, I guess I would go Bud Light. Not Bud Heavy, Bud Light.
Trying to cut out some carbs in his advancing years.
Dude, he's a dad bod now.
He's got that Peloton.
He's got the Peloton, but once you pop out a kid, you gotta be working on that dad bod, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the job description.
Question for you from me, not from a listener. How do you feel about Slough House 2020?
I love the idea.
Slough House 2021.
I love the campaigning.
He did his hard campaigning with his Snapchats with the faint country music in the background.
Which I come from country, so he's got that.
He's appealing to all of his constituents.
Yeah, you can stop with the country music now, Bacon. I'm in. I think I'm the only one that enjoys country with you, so yeah, you're good on that. I think it's great. It's a nice middle ground spot for everybody. It checks the box for people that don't want to blow a bunch of money. If COVID's still going on, I mean, by that point, fuck, we should all be vaccinated.
Just kill me.
Just kill me, yeah. But it just reminds me of Lake Travis, Centex Spring Break 2010. I don't know, going into a country house with all the boys. You can be as loud and rowdy as we want.
That's basically what the disco bay was.
Yeah, but 14 hours away, whatever it was.
I think it was similar. Oh wait, are you talking about Lake Travis or Disco? Disco is 6. I imagine isn't Slough House outside of Sacramento? I think it'd be a comparable.
Oh, I thought it was in Slow.
No. What? No. Oh, it's way up north.
Oh man, never mind.
Did that change your vote? Yeah.
Significant. All right, we're going back to Vegas.
So I did mention on one of the podcasts that if Vegas helped get Biden over that hump, that we would gladly come and spend all of our money in their state. So it's locked in. Bacon does have that disc golf basket, which would be a fun wrinkle. I am excited to see what kind of groundskeeping, he could whip up in the event that we did go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a hard sell.
Yeah, definitely, especially if it's 10 hours away.
Yes. It's slow. Imagine you lobbying super hard to go and then finding out that it's way farther away.
You just I feel like Scooby-Doo, unmasking the Slow House. Oh, it really was far away. It was this awful thing that everybody said it was, and I was blinded to.
So you have another segment you want to?
Yeah, the way too early to ask questions about next year. This is going to be fun little, we're going to pop them off because we've kind of been going late on time, but it's always fun.
I think we're good. We're still under an hour.
53 minutes? Yeah, all right. It's always fun to postulate about the upcoming season. People have already, put out ultimate Frisbee rankings and all that shit. So, here, for you, who are you taking next year? Jerry Jeudy, Carlos Sutton, Cortland Sutton. Oh my God, I did it again. Who's the receiver?
This is a good question. I'm taking Carlos Sutton.
Who comes off the board first? Calvin Ridley or Julio Jones?
Calvin Ridley.
You taking Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb? Assuming Dak Prescott is the quarterback.
That's a tough one. CeeDee Lamb. And I say that
Oh.
because I owned Cooper last year, and he super faded in the second half of the season. Like, I was extremely disappointed. Like, he was an all-star for the first 6 games, and in the last however many, he had like 2-point weeks,
You're scarred.
inexplicably.
Sounds like Zeke.
Yeah. Fool me once.
Zeke, Cooper, or Lamb. Who are you taking on your team?
Out of the 3,
Mhm.
like if I had to choose one,
You pick one.
Lamb.
Wow.
And then there's a lot of considerations in that too, right? Like where in the draft you could get him, what kind of like capital are you expending for him.
Yeah, cool. Lamb.
Also, I think Zeke is kind of fat.
He does look a little chunky. Thielen or Jefferson on the Vikings?
Thielen.
Thielen myself. He's so good. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong there. First player off the board next year.
Number 1 overall.
Number 1 overall.
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey? All right. Who are the next 2?
Kamara. And Derrick Henry.
What if...
that's actually tough.
Yeah. What if Drew Brees retires this year? Like,
He's not going to retire.
everybody seems to think.
Fuck, that's really hard. Yeah, Kamara is a little sketchy. He's had some bad weeks. But he was so good before that. Like, rewind 2 weeks and he has number 1 receiver and number 1 running back numbers.
It's amazing what, like, the elite mind quarterback can do for a running back, right? Think about all of those Colts running backs with Peyton Manning, and then he went over to Bronco land. Was it Noshawn Moreno? He made a fucking stud.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what a stud.
Another fellow, number 27.
Another 27. Wow. Faded into oblivion.
Any more questions? Fun questions?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's CMC. I think Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry are the top 3.
I think it's going to depend. I mean, maybe this is a silly thing to say, but how they finish. Cook seems a little banged up, like he was injured that game. He exited last game. Henry seems to ascend at the end of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a monster few games, so
a monster year so far.
Definitely those 2 guys will be within the top 5.
Yeah.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire will maybe not even be in the first round.
Definitely not. Neither will Miles Sanders or Joe Mixon. I don't know which one you took first.
Mixon.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Let's look that up real quick. Who's going to fall out of the first round?
It is fun.
Draft results. We got Saquon.
He'll be in there.
Zeke.
He'll be in there. Although
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we both agree, out. Kamara, he'll be in. Cook in. Henry in. Mixon out. Kenyon Drake. It's a tough one.
I guess that is a tough one. I bet he stays in. He had a good game this last one. It also will just depend how he finishes, but running back is such a premium position that, I mean, how many, like 8 running backs were taken in our first round? 11 running backs were taken in the first. Yeah, so
This was the year of the RB, because we knew it was so shallow.
I think
Drake in or out?
in.
Michael Thomas.
In.
I think out.
It depends on Breeze. If Breeze is around,
I think Kelsey's in. Thomas is out.
You think Kelsey is going to be taken in the first round?
Yeah, I do.
Would you take him in the first round?
Potentially. I've been burned by tight ends so hard.
Imagine getting burned by your first round pick. Although I guess that's not much different than what a lot of us are experiencing anyway.
Right. I mean, I literally am.
Yeah.
With Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke, Kittle, Juju. I've been burned by my top 3 picks.
I think the Chubb stays in, right?
Chubb for sure. He ascends. I think he's top 6.
Dude, the Chubbster. My God, I should have fucking taken you. I'm sorry.
Josh,
I'm sorry I doubted you,
Josh
Chubbster.
Jacobs.
Is he a first round pick?
Yeah.
Last year? Next year? Yeah, I think he stays.
And he's out.
In lieu of who?
Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, yeah.
Here are people that I can see coming in to the first round. Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Austin Eckler. Those 3.
What about
And James Robinson.
Damn.
Yeah.
His usage is crazy, but
His usage is insane.
what if they have a new quarterback and a new coach?
It's true. All good questions.
These are fun. I got one for you. Who would you rather have, Kyler Murray or Josh Allen?
Kyler Murray. Well, in their current states, Josh Allen.
In their current
'Cause
states.
Kyler Murray has the shoulder injury.
I guess when they're both healthy.
For next season,
Yep.
I would love to have Kyler Murray. Yeah, I'd be super happy with either. The little scamper. One of them is a stallion. One of them is a scamper.
What if you throw Russell Wilson in there?
I would
Murray,
take
Wilson?
Wilson over both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you? So you would expend that draft capital?
I meant to do it this year.
Seems like a lot of people meant to do it this year.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're kind of puttering. Do you have any more fun? This is a fun one.
That was a fun
It'd be
one.
great if we had like 10 rapid fire questions to do like this
Boom,
every
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that was good.
every pod.
Good sesh.
Well, before we get into the next picks, just a projection update. Half the league met the projections this last week. Scott, Brad, Evan, Stu, Bacon, and Max, which is actually a really good week for us considering that the average is pretty low. Let's see, actually, I can get that average right now for you all. On average, 4.67 of us meet our projections. So this is an above average week for us. So good job, guys. Now, next week's picks. So we already talked about the O'Malley's and Evan matchup where I'm taking O'Malley and you're taking Evan. Why don't we just dive into mine? Who are you taking in that one? And why?
Who am I taking in that one? Hold. Max 13 matchup. Oh, I think I'm taking Max. I'm still searching. Mario Party NPM. I chose you. And why? Just because poor Max. The curse is so strong. I'm choosing his curse over your losing streak.
The curse is really strong. Yeah, I'm choosing myself as well. Kind of the similar situation as what's going on with Evan and O'Malley. It's just I think his team has way more question marks than mine does. Which sounds weird to say because my team is full of question marks. But if you look at his bench right now, he's full of Ravens and Steelers with COVID, and Kevin's is on a bye. So Max is throwing some, patched up players in here. Edwards-Helaire has not been that great. Not been the first round pick that some of us had envisioned or thought he could be in that offense. McLaurin's going to have a good week, I'm sure. Although they're playing Pittsburgh, which is super rough. So, as is Gibson. So those are the two high-performing players. Those two football players on Max's squad are going up to the number one defense. So I think it's going to be rough for Max. Where on my end, SF will be tough for Allen, but Marvin Jones is still the number one in Detroit with Galladay out. Now, the matchup is tough, but the volume will be there. He had 12 targets last week, so I like that volume. If Fitzpatrick plays for Parker, that's going to be a good game. Running backs are definitely questionable for me as the Eagles are dog shit and Henderson has done nothing, but I'm just more comfortable where my team is. Plus, I feel good about getting double digits out of my kicker and defense again.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. I think your kicker and defense are going to win that matchup.
Bet they outscore my running backs.
That's so sad. Let's get Philip Lindsay out there. Trot him
Maybe
out.
at some point. At some point, I would love to play him.
Do you remember when we talked about Philip Lindsay versus Melvin Gordon?
Yep.
Melvin Gordon is far outpacing Philip Lindsay. It pains me to be
After we're like, yeah.
because I knew that Roger Goodell wouldn't suspend him like a fucking Goodell that he is. All right. Good luck, Max.
Yes. Not good luck, Max. All right, next matchup. We got Stu and Pebs. This is the one where they were yucking it up jokingly about having Stu rest his players so Pebbles could get that bye like a rich 8-win snob that he is. Who you got and why?
How do you feel about that? Like, if uh, Stu did try to game the system to give Pebbles the win to get the 2 seed to get out of potential, like to force, I don't know, Brad, for instance, right now is in the number 2 spot. If Stu wanted to make Brad play an extra game, how do you feel about that personally?
Bad. I feel like you're supposed to try and win every game. I think that's super colludey. What is the actual potential of that happening?
How's it colluding though if you are trying to set up your season for success?
Let's see. So Brad,
It's kind of more difficult because there are 4 teams at 8-4, so it still would be a crapshoot.
Brad's
right?
got the points, and he could very well win. Like, Bill is gonna be the 5 or 6. No, he'll be the 5. So between Bacon, Pebbles, and Brad has the points by a long margin. But yeah, if one of them gets to 9. But the thing is, Bacon is playing Brad.
Mm-hmm.
So if Bacon wins
One of those
and
teams.
Pebbles wins, Bacon could potentially fault Pebbles, though Pebbles has 40-point lead on him, so unlikely.
Well, just podcast math aside,
I don't like it.
you like the ability to plan your players for playing, but not the ability to try to tinker yourself to an easier playoff matchup?
Correct. Maybe it's because I'm not in that position. I'm sure I'd have a different bias if I was. It just seems disingenuous. Like, for instance, I'm out. I've been out for a few weeks now. I was talking to Bill. Bill was the same kind of thing where he's like, I need this win, man. Because Bill didn't know if he was going to make the playoffs when we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to try and beat you. Right?
Certainly.
It meant nothing for me. It meant nothing for me.
Uh-huh.
But I still was going to try and beat him.
Right.
Now, I can see the motivation being different because in this situation, it's Stu looking for future Stu
Mm-hmm.
and not me trying to fuck over Bill.
Right.
So that's different motivation.
Not the difference between somebody making playoffs and missing playoffs. It's the difference in the path to victory in playoffs.
I think also it would be hard to prove. I don't know. It's from what you're saying, it seems like you would agree with that strategy.
Yeah, I think I'm for it. I think teams do this in real life, but I'm struggling to think of an example right now as is. But like resting all your starters when you already have the bye comes to mind. You know, like we as fans hate to see that, but it's helped other players out. Didn't that happen in baseball too, where like some team rested a bunch of their studs?
Oh, and then another team got
another
in
team
otherwise.
won and got to go into the playoffs because of it. I think that happened this past season. Anyways, that's food for thought. I chose Peebly in this matchup.
Why?
There's a lot of
Because of all
cues.
that colludiness we're talking about right now.
Yeah. Stu, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. CMC is on a bye. Cam Akers is on his way up. Sure. Still hot garbage. I think that Pebbles' team has been pretty hot recently. He's got Koo leading the way. I just have a feeling that Watson is not going to produce 21 points. A.J. Brown against Cleveland in a storm. Womp womp. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
They're going to be in Tennessee. It says versus.
Playing
Instead of at.
Playing Cleveland.
Oh, there's a little cloud storm.
Yeah.
My apologies. I thought you were talking about the weather in Cleveland, which has been god-awful the past month.
Nah, it's okay. And then, yeah, DJ Shark question. A lot of cues. Chris Carson coming back from injury. I don't know that he has a blow-up game. I mean, he played a little bit last week, but I don't know. I'm choosing Pebbles. There's not much rhyme or reason in my picks anymore. Let's be real.
Wow. That's some.
I tried to logic it out.
It's good
in real
content.
time.
I mean, it kind of made sense. I'm taking Stu because I've rode with Stu the past few weeks and it's worked out.
Yeah.
What you said is true about the Watson matchup is difficult. I think DJ Chark has a better game because they're playing against Minnesota.
If he plays.
If he plays. Chris Carson against the Giants is a good matchup. David Johnson is coming back. So I think David Johnson will be in the lineup. Plus Waller against the Jets is a great matchup. Yeah, we'll see if Stu gets a new defense or not. That'll probably be indicative if he's doing that strategy that you're talking about or not, because playing their Giants defense against Seattle is not the best deal. And with Pebbles, I think what did it for me to pick against him is the Falcons against the Saints, where they played a few weeks ago and they only scored 9 points. They all went to coup. So Gurley, I think, has a down game.
Yeah. Especially if Julio Jones doesn't play.
Yeah, so Pebbles does have a lot going for him, like Goddard, we mentioned earlier. Indy defense against Houston. It's hard to pick against Kyler Murray to have a bad game. Although I think Murray is coming off his own injury, like you've talked about, and the past 2 weeks he's had his worst games of the season. So, yeah, this one's going to be pretty close, but I'm taking Stu in it. Next matchup, we got Bacon and Brad, and we're both taking Bacon.
Yeah. The wide receiver question marks for Brad are too vast to ignore in this one for me. That's why I chose Bacon. Bacon's at full strength. Brad is not.
Yep. Brad's got a lot of holes to fill. Plus, Kamara has not been that great recently, as we talked about. Bacon's team is coming off a ginormous blow-up. Bacon currently has a 2 tight end set in there. See if he keeps that.
Fucker. I tried to trade him for one of those tight ends.
And Mostert and Kelsey are in Brad's lineup. Swift is coming back.
Swift is coming back, yeah. A lot of Buccaneers on Brad's team.
Yeah, we both got Bacon. I think it's going to be a good game for him.
Bacon's going for that bye.
He's got some motivation. Next, Bill and Weave. And we're both taking Bill. Picking against yourself. Why is that?
I'm broken. I'm no longer a Dobbins fan. My team sucks, and I hate it.
Okay, so you've succumbed to the hopelessness.
Yes.
I can feel that. I picked Bill against me last week because I had zero faith in my team as well. So I get it. You gonna play Cam?
Girl, it's either that or Ryan against New Orleans, potentially without Julio. That sounds like a nightmare.
Mm.
The last time he played New Orleans, he put up 5 points, and I lost my matchup because of it. So, yeah, Cam's playing the Chargers, who should
Give
be a
up
good
some
matchup.
points. Yep.
I mean, that was the same story with the Cardinals, and he gave me 4 points, so I really just hate my life.
Well, I like Bill's team because both Drake and Eckler had great games last week, and Eckler is back, baby. Bill does need a new tight end, so he'll be making some moves. But Baltimore against Dallas also is great. And the Seahawk stack against the Giants. Right, you got to think that Russell and Lockett are going to outperform what they did last week, which was 3.8 from Lockett and 14.4 from Russell. So we're both taking Bill in this one.
Rip.
Last matchup of the week. Last matchup of the regular season to discuss. We have On My Way to the Shitter versus Go Brown with the Ship. Okay, here's something else that's interesting that we all can be watching. In this week, the bottom 4 teams, the Sacco contenders, are all playing each other. Scott's playing Adam, and I'm playing Max. And when we were talking about Stu and like the seating up top and like colluding your way, I had a similar thought about myself against Max this week, like if it mattered. Like, do I want to spend some of my budget on some free agents now to try and win this game? Like, does it actually matter? Both Adam and I have 4 wins. Both Scott and Max have 2 wins. So Scott and Max are locked into the 11 and 12 seed, and Adam and I are most likely locked in to the 9 and 10 seed unless your team puts up like 50 points, because I think you have like hundreds of like a much crazy amount of points more than we do, right?
Hundreds of points. Oh,
You might have hundreds of points more. What is it?
1423. I have 123 more points than you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, literally you cannot drop.
130.
So the 4 of us cannot, like, Adam and I could change in our seating. Can Scott and Max change? How much their point difference? No. So Scott's locked into the 12. Max is locked into the 11.
Unless Scott wins and Max loses.
Okay, yeah. So, in any case, there's something else to watch for, but it actually might be for who the fuck cares.
You could game the system, lose to force yourself with a week 1 matchup with Scott. Who?
No, I'd have to win because the 9 would play the 12 and the 10 would play the 11.
Oh, whoops. Yeah. My bad.
So
Podcast math.
there's that.
Never
But
a good idea.
thanks for talking about that, because now I will spend my money to try and get that matchup to avoid getting that Sacco game. But then that will probably be the week that Scott has all those 4 receivers we've been talking about all year, and they all blow up.
Yeah, his team looks good. I can see Scott winning this
In
bracket.
any case, that would be nuts.
Insane. It's got Rojo
Did we both
now.
we both took Adam in this one. Scott has a lot of holes because of buys and injuries and whatnot. He needs a tight end, a kicker, and if he doesn't make any running back moves, would be playing those 2 Colt running backs.
We've seen him before.
So maybe Scott doesn't care about this week, although I earnestly hope he starts 10 eligible players. But he does have Ronald Jones for the Sacco bracket. So there is a potential that Scott ends up in 7th if everything starts working for him.
His team on paper is so good. Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Stephon Diggs, Kareem Hunt, Rojo, Gronk.
Yeah.
Put a flex in Naeem Hines or Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Kicker defense, right? Like, he's got Drew Brees or Carson Wentz is garbage now.
He's got Cousins, though, on the bench there that I'm sure
Cousins as well.
he'll throw in against Jacksonville. Yeah, on Adam's side, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's just like, this is how fickle fantasy can be. This team on paper is the best team in the league, in my opinion.
What about Evan's team? Your love.
I do love Evan's team, but I think that this team is up there as well. Top 3 at least.
Adam gets the pick from both of us in this matchup, but is not without question as Josh Jacobs is banged up and might not play. Robinson had a blow-up game, but that's the unsustainable production. Adams against Philadelphia is a good start, but Roethlisberger also had a down game, even though he threw 51 times. And DJ Moore is on a bye. And actually, it's a perfectly timed bye because he got effed at the end of that game. So we're taking Adam for this one in the battle, but if he wins the war... Oh, look at that. Daniel Jones literally went from having points to having 0 points now. He's not going to play.
He's not supposed to play, yeah.
So we're taking Adam. Next week's podcast will be a fun one because we'll preview both brackets.
Yeah, we'll set the stage for the playoffs.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts for this one?
Another year of
Are you
depressing fantasy football. Done. For me. We'll try again.
What place
next
do you
year.
think you'll get?
I'll probably,
7, 8, 9, or 10?
I always want to get 7 just to be that, but I'm going to lose out and get 10. That's where I live.
That's your prediction.
Yeah.
Lack of production.
That's just it. I'm a silver person through and through.
So with the things to be excited about for this weekend, are you still going to be locked in and engaged? All those things we talked about.
I do love football, so I will be on the group me, feverishly texting away, talking to myself for periods of time. It'll be great. Well, you'll be here.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe there will be some shotgunning.
Oh, nice. I have to take a shot. Adam has to take a shot. You have to take some shotguns. Maybe I'll do one with you. Maybe I'll get the courage.
Oh my God, that would be
you know,
awesome.
To the end of the
I
season.
gotta think my shotgun strategy out. More for that later. But anyway, good having you back. This has been the Week 12 recap. Next week at the playoff primer.
Yeah. Have a great week, everybody. Good luck to all of you that are still in it.
Good luck to everybody except for Max.
Yes.
I hope you don't collude, Stu. Okay, bye-bye.
That's not collusion.
Niners beat the Rams, Mahomes beat Brady.